ماتشي شيبني. استراحة الآن.
Hello everyone and welcome back to SATAC. Today is the 1st of March and today we have the 71st Warcom facing off against Dark Raven. I've been keeping them waiting long enough, so let's get those dice rolls happening so I can get the server running. Only caucuses today, so it's a 6-sided dice, and then we'll do a 2-sided dice for the coin flip. 1 is heads, 2 is tails, and the 71st has picked tails. That is map number 2. That's the same map as yesterday. And '71st also gets to pick their starting side. All right, let's get the server set up. Okay, and mission. And that is WTR2, clear midday, Sochi Mozdok. Okay. Perfect. All right. Welcome in, everyone. How are you all going? I'm so pleased to see all of you cheering on your team. We have everyone in the server. So we'll be getting started nice and quickly. Make sure TacView is connected as well. Excellent. Let's get a nice poll going on here so you guys can tell me who you're here to support. So, I'll give you plenty of time to vote on this one. Tell me where you're from and which team you're here to support. I know that the 71st Warcom is Bangladeshi, and a lot of the members of Dark Raven are from South America as well. Excellent. Everyone's prepared and organized and right on time. Thank you for the subscriptions, Loogie and Retro Wave Bandit. I appreciate that very much. Sorry if I missed any notifications. Oh, look, we've got the Bangladeshis here looking very excited to support their team. I love that. Okay, everything is looking as much prepared as it's gonna be. We're on the same map as yesterday, if any of you guys remember that. And let's switch you over to the match. Oh, we're picking up DCS. Hello, there we go. Welcome in. All right, for the 71st, we have LGN Bose, Visual Basic 6.0. JEGN Rush, C Madge Snail. I see these are ranks. Ravager and Striker. So JEGN, I'm not familiar, but C Madge must be a major of some description. And we've got F-18s as well. Everyone's wishing each other good luck, which is absolutely spectacular. So it looks like we have quite a lot of Hornets here. 2 F-16s and 4 Hornets. Am I counting right? 1, 2, 3. It's a 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I might have missed something, or one of them might be a backup. Never thought you'd see a talking plane on Twitch. How are you? I'm doing very well, thank you. Oh, and hello. Looks like we've got the Thunder. Haven't seen JF-17s flying yet. Perfect. Looking fantastic. Okay. So, it looks like it's Hornets and Vipers for the 71st. Meanwhile, for Dark Raven, we have Zephyr and Ryu Kim in JF-17 Thunder, along with Sebas, Ecos, and Fox in 2 F-18s and an F-16. You were supposed to be with the 71st, but you're not home? Oh no. Hopefully we'll get you in some of the matches to come. And I am an SU-27. My favorite plane in DCS. Alright. So, Ryu, Kim, Zephyr, Fox, Ecos, and Seabass are making their way over to the runway, but we're waiting on their 6th. Meanwhile, the 7 members of the 71st are standing by and ready. Yet to start taxiing just yet, though. We haven't seen any decoys used just yet, which is surprising. I thought we might have seen some decoys with this many Hornets on the field. In fact, before I say that as if that's fact, let's see. Standard AMRAAM loadout, standard AMRAAM loadout, standard AMRAAM loadout, standard AMRAAM loadout, standard AMRAAM loadout. No tactical air-launched decoys. This is my favorite default skin for the Viper. Looks like Dark Raven are happy to fly with 5. And if they are confident, and they seem confident, then so be it. Decoys don't work anymore? How come? What changed? Oh, look at the sense of community. Good luck to the 71st from Jade Long. It was fun scrimming. Oh, you guys had a scrim yesterday. How'd it go? How'd it go? How'd it go? What were you flying? Apologies if I'm a little bit quieter today, guys. I do have a bit of a cold. So if I sound a little bit strange, it's probably because either my accent, general lack of intelligence, or alternatively, I got the timings on my cough medicine wrong. Decoys have a bug at the moment? Oh, I didn't realize. What's the bug? Well, of course the decoys have a bug. They're meant to be on the Hornet. Alright, 2 JF-17s, a Fighting Falcon, and 2 Hornets. And they look confident. Some mishmash squads, it's true. And it looks like the F-16 is leading the way for 71st Warcom. In what skies are you home? Well, I'm Australian, but I live in the UK. But I've been all over the place, so I've been everywhere. And it looks like Dark Raven are the favourites for this match. And looks like this is the player that they're keeping in backup here. The aggressor F-16 with targeting pod. And yes, the Jeffs are full fidelity. In fact, the Jeff is a really good module. Deca Ironworks makes a good product. Everything they've released has been pretty good, I think. And of course, Deca Ironworks, one of the lovely sponsors of this event. In fact, if you go and sport in a JF-17 Thunder, one of the optional liveries that you can have is the victory skin for InSky winning SATAC, which Deca Ironworks contributed after their victory. What year was it, Heck? Was it 2023 or 4? What if we had gun pods on the A10? Well, I'm not going to tell you not to do it. All right. So, lined up, we have Niall Snail, Rush, Ravager, Bose, Visual Basic, all lined up and good to go. But looks like they're reporting some technical issues, so we'll let them sort that out. Okie dokie. Looks like we've got everyone lined up now. With one F-16 a little bit squiggly wiggly. Hopefully that smooths out. The 6v5 from the get-go. If this was a CPU versus CPU fight, I don't know, actually. I haven't done much BVR with full modern Fox 3 against AI. So I have no idea. Though I think that it might end up being the 71st, just because of pure numbers. Set 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. Alright, we have started round 1 with the JF-17s taking off for Dark Raven. The first plane's off the runway for this team that I am told has quite a few South Americans in it. Meanwhile, Nail gets things moving for the Bangladeshis. F-16 followed by 2... Ooh, careful, 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 careful. Oh my goodness, of the wake turbulence. Okay. That stressed me out for a second there, sorry. Okay. And the Hornets have taken off for Dark Raven. Now let's have a quick look at something. This Major Snail here. Let's see what flying directly into the wake of an F-16 does to your aircraft. Okay, alright, that was actually very well recovered. That was nicely done. Okay, looks like Ryukim is leading the way at 10,000 feet. Zephyr is following behind. Seabass, Ecos, and Fox also in the second trailing group. Meanwhile, looks like Neil and Snail are heading north. Rush is heading south, followed by Bose, Ravager, and Visual Basic. Triple bagged up Hornets making their way. Looks like Nail and Snail are happily climbing up to altitude. We see the first of the tanks go off the F-18 off in the distance. Ryukyum is not climbing too hard at the moment, not even afterburning at the moment. Got to be really careful in the JF-17 with its fuel rate. The JF-17 can be very economical and can have its fuel last a very long time, so long as you're responsible with it. So it does take a little bit of careful thought. And of course it wouldn't be a repurposed MiG-29 engine if it didn't leave behind a great big diesel smoke train. We are rolling coal as Neil and Snail make their way up to 30,000 feet and still climbing. Okie doke. So we've got the altitude going over to the 71st at the moment as Neil and Snail seem to be progressing up to 40,000 feet and happily going for the north. Meanwhile, two of the Hornets, E-Cross and Sebas, are up at 20,000 feet and climbing up pretty enthusiastically. Meanwhile, Fox and Zephyr are also following behind. Fox has actually progressed all the way up to 40,000 feet now, almost. So maybe the big opening shot will be coming from Fox. Current separation, 129 nautical miles. All of the planes in this fight equipped with a very capable data link. The F-18 has a great data link, the F-16 has a great data link, and so does the JF-17 as well. So everyone should be communicating with each other pretty effectively, especially the JF-17s if they've set up their data link channels. It's not a plane that I've had a good look at recently. I do like it though. The blue team takes control of the battle area with Nail the first to go in. Going very quickly now. The Hornets tend to do very well once the fight gets low. If this gets into a real tangle, then the Hornets have a real advantage, especially in the mountainous terrain if they choose to fight over there. Of course, one of the downsides that the JF-17s have compared to the F-16s and F-18s is that it doesn't get the helmet-mounted display that the F-16s do, and the F-18s as well. Though, with that having had been said, I do find the dogfight modes, especially vertical scan, in the JF-17 to be pretty good. So, it will depend. Though if there is one defining characteristic of the JF-17, it is its absolutely awful gun. 83 nautical miles between Nail and Viper at the moment. The two highest and fastest. Still climbing, 37,000 feet, nearly 38. While Fox is happily at 40 already, with his teammates trailing behind him, one on the left, one on the right. In this grey colour, yeah, I don't know. There are lots of great liveries for the F-16, but I think no F-16 looks quite as good as one that's just grey. It's how they're supposed to look. 60 nautical miles now. Just getting to the fringes of when the radars of the F-16s will be able to get some kind of lock. The F-18s of the 71st, Warcom, are also heading around to the south. Nail and Fox are definitely peeling towards each other now. You can see him turning in, and I think lining up for a shot. The first missile gets launched from Neil. Fox hasn't fired back yet. Fox still with all three bags on. Does not return fire. But instead opts to go defensive at altitude. This AIM-120 with 15 nautical miles to go. Still travelling at 1,900 knots. Got 8 nautical miles to go. Viper doesn't seem to think that an altitude drop is needed here. This missile still travelling at 1,600 knots in this thin air. Forcing Fox to drop some altitude here. This missile getting closer. And closer to Fox. Impact. Fox goes down. Does not defend hard enough. An AIM-120 fired in response. Looks like it's towards Nail. 55,000 feet, travelling 1,400 knots. That's pretty slow for that altitude. And a very long-range shot from, I think, Major Snail, potentially towards ECOS. I'll be surprised if that has the legs to make it anywhere just yet. Those fires towards Ryukim and Zypher at 40 nautical miles with an AIM-120. The jets dropping down a little bit, sticking to each other though. This crisscross of AMRAAMs happening. And Fox impacts the ground. Another AIM-120 from Ravager, and the first of the SD-10s launched by the JF-17s. This AIM-120 I'm concerned about, though. It's getting pretty close. 10 nautical miles to go, and it's still travelling at 1,400 feet, but it's going straight up. 100,000 feet. This one's going for the International Space Station and will be no factor. What about the one behind it? This one who's not in space and in fact is dropping down on the JF-17s at 15,000 feet, 15,000 knots, 1,500 knots. Off medicine. And another SD-10 comes off the rails here. Looks like it's going for the further target. Should be notchable at this range. Still going, still going. Impact. Down goes a JF-17. And Ryukim has an AIM-120 to deal with. Meanwhile, this SD-10 is getting mighty close, but no impact or factor just yet. This AIM-120 in space, not having any effect. This SD-10, where's this going? Ravager, 20,000 feet. Has it got lock on something? Oh, it gets close, but no luck. That's one JF-17 down. And now it's a 3v6. Which is a tough situation. These missiles falling out of the sky over here. E-Cross pushed all the way over to the edge of the zone here. 2 AMRAAMs left. Nail having to dodge an AMRAAM down low. Fortunately, it's slowed down to 500 feet, 500 knots, and is defeated. Ryukim, I think, making the right choice here to regather with the teammates. ECOS fires name 7 here. That loses track, but a second AIM-7 comes off the rails for ECOS. And he goes defensive as Major Snail and Rush fire AIM-120s. Warcom is looking very firmly in control of the situation so far. Looks like there's several fights going on. This one's not going for Snail, is it? No. Okay. Just got worried for a second there. E-Cross turns very cold against these missiles. And will get away from them, I'll say, unless he makes a serious mistake. Ryukim is now close in against a Nail firing AIM-120s, an SD-10 fired in response. How fast is AIM-120 going? 1,100 knots. And this SD-10 is traveling very fast. This is going to have to be defeated by terrain. But it has potential. Nail has successfully notched it into the terrain. What about the response shot? No dice. It does not find Ryukim. Seabass fires a 120 here, hopefully towards Major Snail and Rush. Ryukim getting unlucky with that SD-10 shot. ECOS still fully defensive here. Thank you for the 17 months, by the way. I am Fighter 104. I appreciate that very much. Seabass fires another AIM-120. This one looking like it's going for Snail. Snail's going to have to turn pretty cold here. Not too much terrain to hide behind. This 120 fired in response is just falling out of the sky. But Nail is pushing really hard here now. Running the risk of merging, actually. Has vision on nearby ECOS. And also has an SD-10. ECOS being tracked by this one. And it gets him. That's a strange maneuver. And this SD-10 gets notched again. Nail successfully notches a second SD-10 and manages to take down Zypher. And ECOS goes down as well, ejecting. Ryukim got one missile left. Skip it English, please. AIM-120 goes out towards Seabass, who is merging deadly close. Missiles fired towards and away from. This missile impacts and actually gets one of the AIM-9's gets Nail, but now Bose is following up behind Seabass. Has him right off his nose. One aim 9 left. Fires it. Will need to be countermeasured. Isn't. Seabass gets destroyed, but Ryukim is coming in to try and avenge him. SD-10 goes off the rails here. It's a close shot. And you're not getting away from that one. The F-16 gets splashed. As Bose goes down. Ryukim, what have you got left? You have PL-5s, and that's it. Absolutely ripping through the air now. As a missile goes straight past and impacts the terrain. AIM-7's in the air. An AIM-120 from Ravager heading towards Ryukim. This one's going to have to be defeated in the terrain. Looks like it's losing Sheik, but it got it back again. Missile, PL-5 comes off the rails. And impacts nothing. That's weird. That one just spontaneously exploded. But now Nail's right behind... now Ryukim's right behind him. PL-5 connects. Ryukim gets another kill. It's now a 2v1. And the JF-17 is down to nothing more than its gun. The one thing you don't want to be down to in a JF-17. As he flies through the terrain and then gets splashed by a AIM-7. Leaving Ravager and Rush the sole survivors in their F-18s. A rather shaky start to the Dark Raven fight that quickly got a lot better as Ryukim found their footing in the JF-17 and managed to get some good splashes. Alright. So, how far have they got to go? Oh, Visual Basic is still alive. I'm not entirely sure what's happening here. Wheel not up. Alright, well, you can afterburn with your wheels down if you want to. Still, he's going the wrong direction as well. Ravager and Rush have to make it back to Sochi, which is 123 nautical miles away. Alright, let's check out the TAC view. Let's see. So the battle lines formed pretty cleanly here. Fox was leading the way. And I think it was a difficult decision here, because Fox gets within 32 nautical miles of Nail and seems to be aware of the launch, but doesn't counter-launch here. Keeps 3 bags on the airframe and elects to try and defeat the missile at 43,000 feet. And without dodging much or losing much altitude, then realizes that it's time to go cold. But this 120 is still going so fast, going up Mach 2.4. Look at the speed of this missile. From launch, launched and peaked at Mach 4.3, it looks like. And then we're still traveling Mach 2.2 by the time it arrived at its target. At high altitudes, these 120s, they just don't lose speed. Not enough air to drag them down. Nail being very effective right from the get-go here. Nail managing to get some great notches and defenses against missile. Let's see this SD-10 dodge as well. I was very surprised that this missile lost track, because, yeah, it got right up to him, and then just decided not to go for him. So that's a very cool notch happening there. Totally lost in the ground clutter. Using this low hilly terrain to its fullest advantage, Ecos never really got a chance to get established down here. Seemed to have a missile firing at him at all times, and was just constantly defensive. And look at that shot from Nail as well. 6 nautical miles, Ecos doesn't have the energy to get away from it. Yeah, look, what is... These AMRAAMs, what is going on? What happens here? The trajectory of this missile is befuddling to me. As it goes down, 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 down. Oh, never mind, there it is. Up, 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 bang. Confusing, to say the least, but alright. And then the heroic fight of Ryukim as well, managing to get one SD-10 off and take out Bose. Quite cleanly there. Turns around. Manages to get a really nice dodge against a 120 here. Just manages to beat it on pure speed alone. Launching PL5s while dodging AMRAAMs. The first PL5 doesn't get Major Snail. The second PL5 does. Good splash. But now you're out of weapons and you're out of time. Ravager fires an AIM-7. And gets him. That's the problem. If you maintain that radar lock, that missile's not going to go bad. I think Zyther got a little bit overconfident here, especially only at 32,000 feet, whilst the missile launch, let's have a look at where that came from. Ravager manages to rifle off this missile against Zyther at 50 nautical miles. That's a really big shot. He was traveling at Mach 1.1 at the time. And Zyther defends, but not as hard as he could be defending. And the missile manages to maintain its speed at Mach 2.2 until it makes it all the way back. So, Ravager leads the way back home, managing to get a Sparrow kill for his troubles. Now, you might wonder, why are the F-18s bringing Sparrows? Why don't they just bring more AMRAAMs? It's because there's a maximum amount of 4 AMRAAMs that you can bring. So lots of the Hornets like to use the belly stations for AIM-7s, because you can only mount the AIM-120s in the dual rack, even if you only want to bring one. So, you'll always have this double rack here, which is just jettisoned, while I'm trying to show the audience. And, yeah, they'll use the double racks of AIM-120s, and then they'll keep Sparrows on the belly. You reckon Visual Basic jammed his wheels or something on takeoff? I don't know. Are they broken? I can't really tell. They're a bit grubby. They need it clean. Now, the funniest thing that he could do here is he could get on the landing run on short final and then bring his wheels up. And how's Rush going? Rush is happily cruising along. Still got some AMRAAMs left. Get to take them home as a present. And I'm actually going to trigger an ad break now so that it gets out of the way while there's just waiting for the flight back home. I've been meaning to test if this works. Hello, Yuki. I hope you're doing well. And hello, everyone else in chat. In fact, let's read off some names here. Hello, 51st Mad Dog, Cammy Aaron, Bandit on 6. I think I just saw you follow earlier. Thank you very much. Matka CZ, Lytrue, Faisal, Valhalla Java, Alpha Gator, Ayatan VRR. I'm going to boost pronounce that. Lord Arsenic, good to see you. Sir Pastian, good to see you too. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for wonderfully supporting me and the 51st PBO in this competition. Hornets in this economy? You betcha. And they made a good job of using them. Oh, I can feel myself gradually getting a... You know when a sickness is like getting worse in real time? I can feel myself getting sicker. I can feel my throat getting sore. Let's hope we can get through this quickly. Do you like belly rubs on plane, streamer? Do I like belly rubs? Let's see. I mean, belly rubs are alright, you know. Belly rubs are fine if you want to. Someone yesterday said, grown man, by the way, and I was like, yeah, true. You got me there. Looks like Ravage is nearly home. I always feel bad dumping flares, because I remember reading in a book that the pilots and the crew chiefs would get into fights all the time, because the pilots like to dump flares to show off at, like, air shows and stuff like that. Hey, that's me. They like to dump flares, like, just to show off and do all that sort of thing. But apparently replacing the flare bricks, the packages of flares that go on the airframe, is a really annoying and tedious process. Doubly so for chaff. So, the crew chief was like, stop fucking dumping your flares if you don't need to. And the pilot's like, no, but it looks cool. And if that isn't the most pilot versus maintainer fight I've ever heard. How are Visual Basics wheels going? He's already started on his checklist. Gear down, flaps out. Warning lights. I mean, at least he didn't jettison his AMRAMs. Hello, who's this? Did I just get a friend request from Masterarm Viper from Masterarm, the server providers of SATAC? I wonder if anyone from Masterarm is here and has a link to their website to provide server hosting solutions for DCS players. I certainly hope so. And of course to say thank you to Special K and his DCS server bot as well. Without him, a lot of this wouldn't be possible, along with half of the multiplayer servers that you guys play on, if not all of them. And of course this is a Navy jet, so it's pretty difficult to mess up the landing. Oh, and the plane's barely even going to know it's on the ground. I should have made some toast, because butter. And there goes round one to 71st Warcom. Looking good. Satisfied with their first victory. Rush, the next one to come in, not far behind. The Hornet just doesn't want to go down sometimes. It's like, come on, please, just drop altitude. The plane's like, no, I'm aerodynamic, I want to fly. And that's a Hornet landing if I've ever seen one. You guys get gift cards? Oh, hello. Hey, man. First landing was good, second landing needs work, but that's okay. You know I had to do it to him. No matter how annoyed the crew chief gets at you for dumping out all your flares, he's going to get more annoyed at having to replace the entire landing gear. And Visual Basic's got his hook out, which is good. Going for a 3-wire. Why is the tail hook out? Because I think Visual Basics had broken landing gear this entire match. Why are we watching people land? Because it's what airplanes do. You can't fire any missiles? Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's a landing. Now he gets the lowrider F-18. And also appears to be on fire, which is good. Alright, let's restart the server. Mission. Restart. Thank you, Karaya, for the Prime subscription for 9 months. Always a pleasure. Now would be the perfect time to get up, get a drink, get yourself ready for the next round. Let me update this to round 2. Do you think we'll see a comeback from the 71st Warcom, or do you think Dark Raven will have this one in the bag? The plane is touching the ground, that's all that matters. Well, yeah. I would tend to agree. Right, while we just get everything set up for round 2, I'll be right back. And also, The ad breaks are awkward to time. I should have waited on that ad break. Let's see if I can get my pre-roll up to 60 minutes again. Let me see. All right. We'll be right back while we get ready for round 2. Alright gamers, welcome back. Now we have Fox, Seabass, Mustang, Ecos, Ryukim, and Zephyr. So we have a full team of 6 for the members of Dark Raven at the moment. And they certainly showed a lot of potential in the first round. I think they, especially, Ryukim in the JF-17, managing to splash 2 right at the end there. An excellent effort. I think with a little bit more coordination and sharpening up, they will be looking fearsome. Meanwhile, over for the 71st, we have Dolphin, Rush, Snail, Ravager, Nail, and Bose. Nail doing really well in the last round as well. Oh, and look, we've got a fake flanker ornament. Oh, Boses. There we go. There is some aeroplaning happening at the moment. Now, this is very worrying. F-16s only phase in and out of existence like this when they're very frightened. If this last Hornet doesn't change its skin, I'm going to be upset. I do love the aggressor liveries on the F-16. In fact, this one here, with the WA on the tail, my absolute favourite. One of my favourite F-16 liveries of all time. Alrighty. Looks like the first members of the Dark Raven are making their way to the runway. And the last of the F-18s for Dark Raven are making their way. Once again, the names of today's players: Ryukim, Zypher, Fox, and Mustang, Ecos, and Seabass, all are lined up and making their way. Meanwhile, Dolphin, Rush, Snail, Ravager, Nail, and Bose are just waiting for their orders to move, I think. Okay. I hope nothing's holding up the 71st. It would be nice to get this moving quickly. As Sebas makes it in, I'm deadly afraid that I'm misspelling this. Make sure you do the FCS bit test. Absolutely. Gotta hold the Y key and press the button. I don't even know what it does. Request rearming. Request refueling. Copy. Unable to comply. Alright, they're getting off the ranks now. Interesting to bring along a targeting pod this time. Is there any way to see their fuel level? Yeah, if their engine is on, they have fuel, and if the engine is off, they don't. I think they're sending Bose first, because at any moment in time, Bose's plane is going to flip through reality. There it goes. And randomly explode. Save the world. My final message. Oh no! No, he's not taking off too early. He's... It seems to stabilize out once he gets up into the air. I mean, I don't want to make too much fun because I'm sure that getting stable internet in Bangladesh is probably quite tricky. How long does it take for the video to come out once the stream ends? I'll make the VOD available as soon as the stream is finished, alright? And of course, if I forget, you can message me directly and be like, hey, Airshow, you stupid fucking plane. Sorry. I'm sure you'll be nicer than that. Make the VOD available. Hello, Apple Brandy. I hope you're doing well. If it were up to me, I'd let Bose take off just by himself. Pardon me, sorry. Hopefully they remember the weight turbulence from last round as well. Don't want to get caught off guard by that. Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, go, go. Alright. And that begins round 2. Oh, looks like they're trying to take off in formation. Okay. And off they go. And there goes Bose. Completely disappearing off the runway. Who knows where that F-18 went? F-16. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. Okay. It takes very complex aerobatic maneuvers to, Oh, shit. Oh, no. Bose, unfortunately, meets an untimely end after his wheels left the ground. Let's do a rule check. Okay, so a firm battle line forming here among the members of Dark Raven. Fox in the F-16. Did some good work in the first round. Ryu Kim is leading the way in the JF-17. Electing not to bring the jamming pods, interestingly enough. Why are they bringing 3 tanks to this fight? Well, lots of people have different ways that they like to go about fuel management. And usually, if you accelerate up to altitude and get steady where you want to be, it's time to jettison your centerline tank anyway, so some people like to just get it out of the way. Meanwhile, Dolphin and Stale in F-18s taking the rear of the formation. Niel is streaming ahead, 34,000 feet and heading north. Yes, unfortunately, when it comes to servers, we have what we have, and I believe the set that we have at the moment are located in Germany, and are rock-solid stable from personal experience. But with people connecting from all over the world, it does mean that sometimes strange things happen. I'm sure anyone who's played some DCS will. Gladly confirm that for you. My question is, what's ECOS doing? Circling around to join the rear of the formation? Okay, looks like he's slotting in behind Zephyr and Seabass. Warcom leading the way. 2 kills so far. Means the battle area is contested now. Separation between the teams is 105 nautical miles. Nail is leading the way, burning hard in the Viper. Sometimes F-18 pilots, instead of bringing triple bags, instead of bringing these wing pylons, they'll bring extra AIM-9s, and sometimes bring the most curse loadout out of all of them, which is 1 wing fuel tank and 1 double-rack pylon of AIM-9Ms, which always gives me a bit of a conniption whenever I see it. Spiders eating cables? Well, that's the problem, is that the internet spiders in Australia just want to break into your house and eat all your internet. That's why I had to leave, was because the internet spiders came and stole all of my copper wiring. And if you don't think that there are internet and spiders in Australia, why do you think it's called the web? I'm going to take loads of cough medicine after this match and pass out. Nail, 55 nautical miles away. I've seen shots from further ranges. So Nail might be lining up for some kind of shot here. Will we see the distinctive pitch up of a AIM-120 launch? Looks like Mustang's decided to take the first shot, though, in an F-18, travelling reasonably quick. But still with the payload on the wings, so its missiles travelling 1,700 knots, up to 67,000 feet. So it's got good potential. Nail needs to be careful now. His window of opportunity for leaving is closing. As he fires off his first missile, goes defensive. Has Nail got enough time to get away from this AIM-120? That is, if it locks onto him, which it just did. Seekerhead goes active there, travelling 1,200 knots. 1,100? 1,050 and stabilizing. I think Neil has gotten away from this one. The AIM-120 that Neil launched is travelling very quick, but does it have lock on anything? It's got plenty of targets beneath it. Is it actually going to capture any of these guys? It certainly seems no. Seekerhead doesn't find any of the targets. And a very lucky getaway. Ooh, never mind. Hold on. What is it tracking? Okay, it's going to start heading straight down. This missile's going to have to be beaten by throwing shapes. And that looks like it has successfully been slowed down just enough to get away from Mustang, who is defending. No impact. Ravager fires at Seabass, who's fired back 30 nautical mile shots in both directions, both planes at 30,000 feet. These AIM-120s crisscrossing in the air. 55,000 feet for Ravager's AIM-120. 48,000 feet for the one fired at Ravager, who's going to have to start defending now. The missile goes active. Okay, this one heading for Ravager does have a little bit of potential here. Let's see what happens. Okay, so long as Ravager turns cold now, yeah, this missile will be done for. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Sorry if you live in the Caucasus Mountains, but this one's for you. Straight into the spectator stands. And Ryukim in the Jeffrey seems to be leading the way. ECOS has gone very low here. Hopefully as everything is okay. Has only fired a Sparrow so far. Fox fires off 2 AIM-120s there. Maybe in a DTT lock. Heading out, one towards Nail, one towards Snail. Snail launches an AIM-120 and starts ditching altitude, so that missile's going to have a hard time finding them. Mustang fires a 120 as well. Lots of very long-range shots. And these Hornets struggle to get the speed up sometimes just to make it work. 1,200 knots on this missile that's heading down towards Snail, but it's going to have to contend with the ground clutter, which is not going to make things easy. Snail might have gotten away from him. What about this one that's heading over to... This one actually might have potential, depending. It's not locked onto Nail, is it? AIM-120's doing strange things again, but I think Nail's gotten away from that one. Zypher fires the first of the SD-10s for J-17. The wing tanks have come off now, so it's clean and mean. Following along behind his missile. Pressing the attack. Question is this SD-10 for Snail or is it for Neil? Still a 6v5 with one of the players for the 71st crashing on takeoff. Has this SD-10 found anyone? It doesn't look like it. Looks like it's just flying over the top. And Neil gets away from it. While Rush and Ravager fire 3 AIM-120s. Looks like 2 are coming towards Fox, who's at 39,000 feet. AIM-120 heading towards Ravager, who's at 20,000 feet. No shots from Ryukin, in fact one shot from Ryukin so far. Fires his first SD-10 at Major Snail and Nail. How's this missile heading towards Ravager going? 900 knots and at 30,000 feet. It doesn't have much energy left, shouldn't be hard to avoid. What about this missile heading for Fox? Does it have any kind of lock? It does. Fox is going to have to turn cold to get away from this. But has Fox been caught out? It's going to be very close. Fox gets hit. Fox is the first one to go down. It's a 5v5 now as an AIM 120 heads out towards Rush. This missile with only a bit of speed left in it. Has it got Seek? It has. And is tracking Rush. We can see Rush just over the left of the missile there. Has he pushed it too far? Missile's probably going to get notched, but if we get... Ooh, it's going to... Oh, God, it's close. It's dodged by centimeters. Ecos losing out on that one, unfortunately. Zythia in position to make something happen here. Needs to point that radar down, though. It looks like he's found someone down there. As Niall launches a 120 up at Zythia, who gets an SD-10 in response. This 120 heading towards Zythia, it's going to be very hard to dodge. Impact. Down goes Zythia. What about the SD-10 fight in response? The SD-10 managed to splash Niall in response, so it was a trade. Seabass is trying to track down Ravager and Rush. So that's one down for each of them. This 120, where's it going? This one's going for the mountains and it's slow, so no threat. Seabass looking down at Ravager and Rush, who are formed up right with each other here. Who's this AIM 120 going for is the real question. Ooh, it's got him. It may just have what it needs. Impact. Alright. Ravager goes down. Gets splashed by a 120. It's a 3v3 now. Ryukim in the JF-17 trying to find Snail down here somewhere. Manages to get a missile off. Goes defensive against Snail, who fires an AIM-7 in response. Has an AMRAM left, but hasn't used it. Gonna have to dodge this SD-10 the old-fashioned way. Could be notchable. Looks like it has been notched, but it reacquires. Impact. Okay, down goes Snail. It's a 2v3 now. But we just lost a pilot. What caused that? The plane has just gone down, and I can't tell why. We'll have to check the TAC view. Looks like this F-18 has taken a hit. So it's a 2v2 now. This is for the knockout for the 71st. Well, not knockout, but this is for the win for the 71st. Rush fires an AIM-7, possibly at Ryukin. Doesn't look like it's maintaining any kind of track. Ryukin, what have you got left? You've got 2 SD-10s and 2 targets to fire them at. Ecos, what have you got? 3 AMRAMs, plenty to work with. What about Rush? What have you got? Rush has got no AMRAMs, he's down to AIM-9s. As Ryukin fires the first SD-10, going towards Rush. This missile going to have plenty of engine power to get where it needs to go. But does it have any kind of track? Doesn't look like it. That SD-10 gets trashed as Rush gets away. Ryukin down to the PL-5s and 1 SD-10 left. Rush chasing him down. Still has an AIM-7. Correction, he still has 1 AIM-7 left. Meanwhile, Dolphin still has all of his AMRAMs and fuel tanks fully ready and loaded for bear. Ecos trying to come in and help him now. Engines are going. Rush chasing down Ryukim. with only a Sparrow to work with in the medium range fight. Can Ryukim get away? Currently 8 nautical away from each other. Ecos fires an AIM-120. If this takes out Dolphin, that'll lose so many missiles for the 71st. But this missile's going slow already. That was a really long-range shot to attempt there. Ecos with 2 more AMRAAMs left. Rush is just chasing down Ryukin at 20,000 feet. Does run the risk of catching the attention of the other teammate. If Ecos cuts north here and gets Rush, may be able to catch him out at an inopportune time. Dolphin here. Dropped his tanks. Still has all his missiles. Is he turning around to try and face Ecos? Ecos pulls up behind. Launches a 120. This one goes straight for the river. Meanwhile, Rush and Ryukim are merging and AIM-9 goes off the rails. Ryukim's just beneath him. He fires. But the AIM-9 that was fired initially did manage to splash Ryukim. Ecos, the last hope, now merging with a bandit straight ahead, directly off the left of his nose. You've got to see it, buddy. Come on. Right, left. Come on. Yeah, turn. The last chance for RVN to get this to push into the 3rd round rests on 1 AMRAAM and 2 AIM-9s. Meanwhile, Rush, I think, fired everything he had there. No, he's got 1 Sidewinder left. Dolphin in a losing position here with a Hornet behind him. But with the mountains to play with to get away. They need to find some way of pincering out Ecos. Dolphin cannot die with these weapons on wings. Unless he's jettisoned them. Did he jettison his 120s? He might be giving Ecos a slip, or Ecos might be going for Rush. Ecos seems to know where Rush is, sees him straight ahead. There he is. Is he going to fire on him? Launches his missile. Oh, it might be good. Dodged. Another missile goes off the rails. This one, I think, is an AIM-9M. Yep. The 9M connects. Ecos gets kill, and it's a 1v1. Dolphin versus Ecos. They are right next to each other as well. Ecos managing to splash the Hornet. Dolphin, now with all the hopes and dreams of his team resting on his shoulders. This is win or lose. Imagine how stressful this would be if you're Ecos. The game is either won or lost right here. Dolphin still with missiles and options. Ecos, does he still have that 1 AMRAAM? Ecos has that 1 AMRAAM and 1 Sidewinder. And has to somehow win the match with it, but he's got some idea of where Dolphin is. A small altitude advantage, but Dolphin's hiding in the hills. Ecos is turning left here. Needs to turn right to chase down Dolphin. So Dolphin has his bandit just over behind the mountain to his right shoulder. Ecos, they're both just circling around this large peak here. Silhouetted, both of them, on both sides of this mountain. And it looks like it's going to be a merge. Ecos and Dolphin facing off. They're going to merge right over the top of this hill. Who's going to see who first? They're right next to each other. Looks like Dolphin has him. Dolphin fires a 9M. Fires 2 9Ms. Nothing fired in response. And the 9Ms are good. The 71st manage to take out their opponents, and Dolphin manages to secure the round so long as he can make it back in one piece. Well, let's hope he's got enough fuel to make it back. Now, let's have a look at what else we missed. Welcome to TAC View. The opening shots, Fox and Mustang, Nail managing to get away with this missile and defending quite well. Mustang nearly getting caught out by that really long-range 120 from Nail. And Fox, at 38,000 feet, commits into the fight with Snail, 30 nautical miles. Snail was traveling at Mach 1.3, so that missile came off the rails at lightning speed. In fact, let's have a look at it. You see, we have Fox's missiles traveling at Mach 3.63 and 3.1. Meanwhile, Snail's missile travels at Mach 3.3 because it's climbing up into that thin air. Actually, that's not the one that gets Fox, it was later. Ah, okay, the missile that destroyed Fox was launched by Rush, actually. And what range was that done at? So, Rush managing to catch Fox right as he turns back into the assault. And Fox almost flies straight into that one, dodges the first one, but the second one gets him. Zafir over here manages to catch Nail and Snail low, 14 nautical miles and 20 nautical miles. There's already a 120 coming in on Zafir. Launches the SD-10. Very unlucky that this SD-10 didn't splash Nail. In fact, it did splash Nail. Outpost, right? It was a trade. But at some point, someone crashed, and I don't know who. Who did that? Seabass defending here. Do you think Seabass just defended a little bit too hard here? Pulled some shapes. He's traveling at Mach 1.1. Yeah, I think he was just going a little bit too fast and impacted terrain there. Then we have Mustang here. And Mustang... Did Mustang just have a wing rip or something? Or was that a control failure? I don't know what would have caused that. Mustang's plane appears to disintegrate. And then after that, Ryukim gets unlucky with the SD-10 shot, which guides itself into terrain. Ends up facing straight down the barrel of two Hornets, but Ecos comes in with the assist. Did Dolphin jettison his weapons? I know he jettisoned his fuel tanks. So that's the drop tanks. And then Dolphin ditches his missiles here. And I can't understand... Maybe Dolphin had some kind of fire control failure or something? I'm not sure why, but those missiles come off the rails. As a result, ECOS is managing to track him down. Rush getting taken out by an AIM-9, and then ECOS eventually tracking down Dolphin, who manages to get the AIM-9s working. Splash! That looks clean to me. How far has Dolphin got to go? 81 nautical miles left to home plate. He couldn't fire his missiles? I wonder what went wrong. Maybe the landing gear is like very slightly damaged or something. Maybe there's no, the landing gear looks fine. Because if the landing gear was busted and it thought that it was out, then that would inhibit his missile launches and would explain why he could fire the AIM-9s, because the AIM-9s, I think you can fire even with the wheels down. Oh, I'm so nasally. Left in jettison mode? I have no idea. Maybe we'll get a chance to interview once he makes it back home. You had your wheels broken, you can fire the sidewinders, so it must have been something else. How far has he got left? 36,000 feet, 56 nautical miles to go. We'll go check on Spinny Boy. There are times I can get this perfectly right. That's what being in a microwave feels like. Oh no, that gave me a headache. Still, I love the way that the E3 looks. We have Dolphin, who has it straight ahead of him. Let's check on his fuel. Alright, he hasn't got any. Does anyone remember the SATAC match where one of the guys got turned around so bad that he turned out of the circle and went and killed his own team's AWACS? To this day, I can sympathize with why that happened. In fact, at the time, I was like, how could anyone do that? What a truly strange thing to have had happened. And then I was playing a mission with my friends, and I was in an F-18 Hornet, and I was meant to take off from a carrier strike group, and then shoot harpoons at a hostile carrier strike group. But as I was setting up for my harpoon run, I fired a missile at me, so I went defensive and pulled some shapes at 40,000 feet and got away from the missile. And then I had to lock on my harpoons. The only problem was that I didn't realize that while I was defending that I did a complete 180 in the air, and instead of locking the enemy carrier strike group, I just locked my own carrier strike group and fired 4 harpoons at them, which sank the aircraft carrier. And why are my moderation controls not working? That's annoying. Thank you for the Prime sub, Turn Prey. Much appreciated. Alright, let's see if anyone wants to come and have a hello to me. Straight in or do a turnaround landing? I think he's going to do it straight in. You don't want to take any risks when you're the last one alive. Let's see, can we see him? There he is. The bug comes home. Of course, there is still time to completely mess up this landing and lose the match. Imagine if you ran out of gas right now. Well, the thing with the Hornet is that it glides really well. So I think he probably wouldn't make it back if they quit right now. A little power, a little power, a little power, a little power. And that looks good to me. All right. Oh, thank you for enjoying the streams, guys. I appreciate all of you being here very much. And I hope that you guys have enjoyed it too. All right, let's see if anyone wants to come and say hello to me. Meanwhile, we'll change the score from 1 to 2, which means that 71st Warcom are the winners of this match. Hello, who have we got here? Would you be able to introduce yourself for us?
Yeah, this is Real King from Dark Ravens.
Yeah, well done.
Match.
Great flying.
71. Yeah.
How are you guys feeling after that?
Well, we feel very, energetic, to put it that way. This is like our first ever match that we ever had.
Oh, the very first one for
Yes.
Dark Raven? Oh, well, congratulations.
Yes.
You guys did really well.
Yeah. We also been training, we have been training with the other squadron, the SATAC and the 08. Those guys are pretty good too. But yeah, I mean, we have much to learn. We are eager to move forward with this tournament, and
Oh, I can't wait to see
we keep improving ourselves.
Yeah, I can't wait. I heard down the grapevine that you guys have quite a few people from South America as well. And you had some fans in chat for your first match as well.
Oh,
so,
that's great.
Yeah, look, there were plenty of people here cheering you on. What do you think would be the main notes for improvement heading into your next matches?
Well, basically more training, more communication between us, more situational awareness. I think that's basically the piece of cake for us to get the grabs on.
Yeah.
But anything else, I think we just show how we fly.
And you can never spend too much time getting used to the basics as well. It is a tricky one. In the last round, I had some questions about what happened.
Okay.
It was almost as if Mustang disintegrated. Did something happen to him?
We have the same question. I think he probably crashed. Let's say that I think he DCS crashed and he disappeared in the match. Yeah.
It's a tricky one. Wherever the servers end up being, they always end up being in the wrong place for someone.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have Ravager here from the 71st. Congratulations. How are you going?
Thank you so much. And yeah, we're pretty stoked about the victory that we had. And it was our debut SATAC match.
Okay, so have you competed in any other competitions before?
We have not. No, this was our first comp match.
Oh, so two teams facing off in their very first match ever. For both of them. How exciting. How did you guys prepare for all this?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, the decision itself was it was taken very late in the SATAC sign-up stages, right? One of my friends who flies comp in DCS, he reached out to me that, hey, you can take your squadron and participate in SATAC. And I actually gave a thought about it. I had a talk about it with my squadron members, and they seemed interested in it. And fun fact, we were the last squadron to sign up, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And
And
we've been practicing for like only 2 to 3 weeks after taking the decision, and we've only done 2 scrims so far. I was yeah, I had my expectations up with the squadron and how well they were trying to facilitate that decision to go comp,
mhm.
and I'm kind of glad with their performance tonight.
And I am to understand that you guys are a Bangladeshi team?
That is correct, yes.
And all of your members are from Bangladesh? Because I saw some people cheering on and getting a little bit of national pride going on. You must feel very proud.
Well, we do have international members. However, the unit itself is primarily based in Bangladesh, and we are the only unit that currently operates or based in Bangladesh. And
Ah, fabulous.
yeah, we did take marks. Nail is currently part of Task Force Trident. He's from India. Shout out to him. VB6, he's from New Zealand. He was also marking for us the first round. That guy with the gears down,
Yep,
Shout out to
that's
him
right.
as well. And one of our members, Rush, he's from Malaysia.
Okay,
So
quite international. Okay, I have one more question. What happened to Dolphin's missiles?
right. So immediately after takeoff, that's where the main problems happened, right?
Weight turbulence isn't easy.
Yeah. So one of my members, he crashes out because his game froze right off the bat. The other guy, Dolphin, after takeoff, he says that my gears are blinking. I'm like, oh no, right? Because in the F-18, if your gears are blinking, if the gear handle is blinking, you cannot utilize any of your armaments. You cannot even flare, right? So I just had him stay in the back lanes, giving secondary Brock calls, using his aircraft and his data link.
Mm-hmm.
And in the end, when the fight came down to him, I was very surprised that, he could let a Fox 2 off his rail.
Oh, look.
Essentially winning the match.
You're going to have to get him a beer or something after that, because that was a clutch. Definitely.
That was a... Yep.
Okay. Well, for Rikim from Dark Raven, if you would like to give any shout-outs or say anything to anyone, to the audience that's been cheering you on today, go ahead. It's all yours.
Oh, okay. Where I should start? This is like the first time ever I do this.
That's all right. Just say be like, oh, I just want to say thank you to my team, or look forward to it, or anything. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, thank you everyone who cheered for us. I know that we try our best, but all your energy, I think we try our best to make it through this match, our first match ever.
Oh, I think you did fantastic. Thank you very much. And same goes for you, Ravager, if you've got any shout-outs you'd like to make or anything you'd like to share.
Yeah, I would like to dedicate this win to, obviously, first, the people of Bangladesh who have been supporting us ever since the foundation. And obviously my squadron and my teammates who had made this win possible. And also the external help I got from international squadrons. Like, this really shows how the competitive squadrons are very oriented towards helping new squadrons out when they're stepping into the competitive arena. But lastly, I gotta dedicate this win solely towards Dolphin. He, even with a gear malfunction in the Hornet, it's a very bad thing. But he did manage to clutch it in the last seconds of the match.
Oh, fantastic. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, guys. Good luck in your matches to come, and thank you for flying for us today.
Thank you.
All
Great
right.
match, Ravager.
Yeah. Goodbye, guys. Can't wait to see what you guys get up to next.
For sure.
For sure.
All right. Well, I think that's as far as we go today. We have another match happening today. Let's just make sure we know when that is happening. That will be, let me check my timesheet, at 1800 Zulu, where the 51st PVO is going to face off against the Persian Air Force. That'll be happening on 81 Bananas channel at 1800 Zulu. So that'll be in about 40 minutes time. And make sure that you go and check out all of the links associated. So 81 Banana will be streaming the next match. Also in chat, you will have seen the links for SATAC and the 51st PVO. So please make sure that you interact with them, join in on the SATAC Discord so you get pinged whenever there's a SATAC match on. If you guys have enjoyed my coverage, thank you very much, and thank you for all of the follows. I appreciate it very much. I will allow the VOD, of course. You guys can also follow me on Twitter, join in on my Discord, subscribe to my YouTube, and follow me on Blue Sky. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap things up on my end so that they can start getting ready for the next match. The 51st PVO is always a blessing to watch fly, so you guys will be in for a treat, and I have no doubt that the Persian Air Force, Iran, is going to give them a real run for their money. Great, and you'll probably see some airframes that you don't get to see all the time. So please, make sure you show up for it. That's it for me. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time for another match at 1500 Zulu between InSky and Nemesis. China versus Greece. Ought to be worth watching. See ya.